This is Warped, the Warped Gamer. Gosh, this is
Um,
Deathlore, the Warped Gamer.
this
Mad at
is Z
YouTube.
from Fukari Gaming, laughing at Deathlore,
Yeah,
and still not seeing anything. Ah, there we go. Haha, helmet.
helmet. So this light blue one is um, it's really kind of a split down the middle design. Just different ideas on um, different silhouettes of it, I guess. Kind of placements of flashlights, basically, or
Yeah,
headlights, I guess. Helmet lights, whatever. Your headlights. I was
we'll call them
thinking.
headlights.
Okay, so one of them could have the lights higher up, like a little bit above where your eyes would be, and then the other one is more to the side, maybe a little bit below where your eyes would be.
Well, I see the on the front silhouette there, where you just drew a circle
Yeah.
on that protrusion to the left.
Yep.
I think that's a pretty traditional placement
Mm-hmm.
of helmet lights. And admittedly, I'm going off of mainly going off of Halo and the ODST and Spartan helmets,
Right.
where when we see a light, it's usually with ODSTs, it's usually coming from that protrusion on the side. With the Spartans, with Master Chief, it was actually coming from that. I'm gonna get roasted for this. I don't care. That kind of stupid looking visor over his um, actual visor,
Uh huh.
which I'll never understand why he had that projection. It's not like he needed his visor shaded from the sun or anything, but it did look cool.
It did look
Just
cool.
kind of stupid at the same time.
I kind of agree.
But so benefits to having it on top of the head versus on the side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there are any.
Okay.
Um, in fact, having kind of even that low profile bump on top of the helmet makes me think about the uh, kind of about clone trooper helmets
Oh
and what
yeah.
I
Uh huh.
kind of hated about them, which was precisely that fin on top of their heads. Um, and the thing I wasn't hugely fond of with Mandalorian armor, the viewfinder poking up.
Oh yeah.
Um, I mean, with Mandalorians, they could fold that viewfinder down, uh, to actually line it up with their target, but I still didn't like it. And my big problem with having something projecting up from the top of the person's head is A, God forbid you have to hide behind something.
I can see him hiding behind some cargo box or something with his
Yeah.
antenna sticking up. I see
And
you.
B, God forbid you have to move at speed through any corridor with low ceiling clearance,
Right.
which in lore to me screams, God forbid you have to go into an engineering space. Because think about it, even on the stuff we've seen of ships with engineering spaces, immediately looking at those doors, they're small.
Yeah. No, that's true. And with this being sort of a worker's suit, that wouldn't be a good idea to have anything like out of the way. But maybe, and I was thinking more like for venting purposes. I don't know if you really would vent out the top of the head. I mean, it makes sense in atmosphere, but
These guys won't be working in atmosphere.
for a spacesuit, you wouldn't really need that.
Yeah, this is one of those things where we do have to consider some things, specifically the fact that this isn't a combat suit, so a certain amount of wearer comfort is necessary, and if you're moving around in a hurry or doing engineering work, you can end up getting pretty hot
Yeah.
and sweaty. So I guess this is a moment where we have to decide on camera, no pressure, whether we want the feel of this armor to be a bit hand wavy. Oh, it's sci-fi armor. Your bodysuit regulates your temperature. Or if we want to put like sealable filters on, say, the helmet that if the pressure of your ship gets vented or if you're having to do EVA work, seal.
Right. There's got to be a place for that to go. I mean,
Yeah.
there is an element of sci-fi to it, but at the same time, realistic sci-fi is sometimes the best sci-fi.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the space the armor of the Expanse and how they were building it because I watched um who was it? Adam Savage
Oh yeah.
doing kind of behind the scenes coverage of the weapons and the armor. And the guys said that they hooked up like they had fan systems that they built into the helmets.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm wondering is um if we kind of cheat a little, if we say that our armor has if our armors are built with rebreathers
Right.
and inbuilt fan slash defrosting systems in the helmet to keep air circulating and to keep the visor from fogging over.
I think that would be good. I like that idea.
Yeah. That way we can kind of worm our way out of having to build even a moderate weakness like a vent system
Mm-hmm.
if we just say, well, it's the 20, well, no, it's the 30th century. We probably have figured out a way to build recyclers into armor that take care of your carbon dioxide. So, that's just a thought.
I think it's a good thought, though. I like that idea. It makes it a little bit more realistic.
Yeah, and that's something that we can play that a couple different ways aesthetically. With this civilian armor, we can just like in the schematics that we give in the finished version, we can just put a little arrow pointing to a part of the helmet, maybe that little thicker chunk at the base of the skull,
Mm-hmm.
and say the rebreather is built into the armor here.
Right.
But with our combat suits, we can play it up. We can have like the menacing like lower half of the face hidden behind this menacing apparatus. And be like, oh, by the way, your rebreather, it's in there.
Yep. Should be placements for everything in there.
Yep.
Anyways, I know you just got here not too long ago, but that's pretty much all I have time for this morning. Gotta go have
Yep.
breakfast with the kiddos.
That's on me for sleeping in.
I'm talking to
Uh,
Z.
yeah.
Say hi.
So, hi, hi, Mini Bethor.
All right. Anyways, I think that's a good spot. I mean, we did make progress on this.
We did. We haven't finalized what the helmet itself is actually going to look like, although I do like this kind of smooth, very open-faced version.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What I
we might.
explained before the stream key decided to update itself was there was those helmets that were just released out on Star Citizen. And two of them were like very bubbly, like big bubbles.
Yeah,
And
the Explorer armor.
oh yeah, I've got one in the top right corner actually, kind of that idea, and
Yeah, I can
it's
see it.
like it's too much bubble. I mean, unless the helmet's so big that you can actually move your head around inside it instead of the
Yeah,
helmet actually moving with your head, like having that sort of a looking glass, I guess, a sort of helmet that doesn't really articulate. But if it does articulate, that's pointless because you can't see your forehead, you know,
yeah,
and your peripheral is really just past 180 degrees, right? It's like 210 degrees field of
something
view,
like that. Yeah,
and so having more than that is pointless. And so that's kind of the idea is going with this, how um, the shield will extend back in the corners of your eye, but then basically open up like a mouth, for lack of a better description, to
yeah,
allow the most vision without being silly. Because let's face it, glass or plexiglass or space glass, whatever you're using, is not as armored as armor. Even being a civilian, you know, if you have a motorcycle, you want more armor and less glass.
yeah. That's actually tricky. Because they, and I'm gonna speak kind of quickly because you do need to go eat breakfast. They've been saying that in lore that the glass substitute they're using in the helmet in ships is as strong as hull plating.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know um, about that, but I do like the idea that hey, don't get shot in this clear bit.
Yeah. Don't get shot
Okay,
there.
so just before you go, I have Spectrum up in another tab, and I'm going to write. I'm gonna write it out and put ourselves out there. So
Awesome.
uh,
Do it.
see
Do
how
it.
this goes.
All
I'm
right.
doing it. I'm doing it. Bloody hell, man. Okay, title of this new thread. Armor Mariner Arms Armor Project 1.
Yeah, that's good. Very general. Gets the ball rolling.
Okay.
And I put another. I posted an updated picture of my new seat on my SimPit thread
Nice.
just this morning, about an hour ago. And a little munchkin is getting impatient. So, gonna end it here.
Okay.
Thanks, Z.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And thanks, everybody else.
We'll see you next week
Next
on the
week.
next episode.